When our first video went live, no one had confirmed attacks using WordPress 7.0.2's security bugs. 4 days later, CISA put WP2Shell on its exploited vulnerabilities list. The warning became an incident. The patch is tiny. The path it blocks is one of the strangest routes through WordPress core. WordPress released 7.0.2 on July 17 and forced automatic updates on affected sites. Version 6.9 received 695. Version 6.8 received 686 for the SQL injection alone. This was a security-only release built around 3 small code changes, not a feature update. Start with the REST batch API. It accepts several virtual API requests inside one outer request. WordPress first matches every request to a route and validates its parameters. Then it runs each matched route. Think of parcels moving beside their inspection slips. Every parcel must keep its own slip. An invalid request broke that alignment. The old error branch added an entry to the validation list, but skipped the matching route list. From that point onward, the 2 lists were offset by 1. A later parcel could carry the inspection result that belonged to its neighbor. That mismatch separated checking from execution. WordPress could validate one shape of request, then execute another route's handler with it. The guard examined the harmless parcel while the machine delivered the parcel behind it. The batch API had turned its safety process into a shell game. The second defect lived in WP query. The author not in filter expected author IDs. Arrays were converted to integers, but a scalar value could reach a raw SQL fragment unchanged. Normal REST validation kept that shape away. Route confusion removed the guardrail, so the database saw an ingredient it never expected. This is why the version boundaries look odd. WordPress 6.8 contained the query bug, so 686 fixes it. Versions 6.9 and 7 also contain the batch route confusion, allowing both pieces to connect. Those branches need 695 or 7.0.2. Anything before 6.8 is unaffected. The first result was pre-authentication SQL injection. That can expose database records, including user data and configuration. But WordPress stores important credentials as hashes, so reading the database did not hand over a clean administrator login. The chain still needed a way to borrow authority. The bridge used WordPress's own internal machinery. Crafted query results could masquerade as posts inside the in-memory cache. A fake customization change set then carried an administrator's identity, while a deliberately tangled parent relationship forced WordPress to reconcile the conflicting objects. For a brief moment, WordPress applied that change set with administrator authority. The chain then replayed a request that had failed as a guest. This time it created an administrator. From there, uploading a malicious plugin provided code execution on the server. No vulnerable plugin was required to get in. Searchlight Cyber says an OpenAI model found the chain from WordPress source code without using the patch or repository history as hints. 4 agents worked for a little over 10 hours at a reported prorated cost of about $25. The researcher spent longer understanding the result than the model spent producing it. The patch repairs all 3 pressure points. Batch errors now occupy a slot in both arrays, keeping routes and validation aligned. Nested REST work must use the controlled dispatch path instead of starting a fresh top-level cycle. And author not in is normalized through an integer ID list before SQL is built. The clock moved fast. WordPress shipped the fixes on Friday, July 17. WordFence reported probing that night, followed by a clear injection attempt 13 minutes later. Public proofs appeared over the weekend. By July 20, Wiz had confirmed successful exploitation. CISA added the flaw to its known exploited catalog the next day. Wiz observed opportunistic scanning and successful compromises of self-hosted WordPress servers. Attackers uploaded malicious plugins, planted PHP web shells, enumerated administrators, and reached the admin panel. Wiz had not observed lateral movement or data exfiltration when it published, but a web shell leaves a persistent door for whatever comes next. First, verify the installed version instead of trusting that the forced update worked. Use 7.0.2 on the 7 branch, 6.9.5 on 6.9, or 6.8.6 on 6.8. If patching must wait, temporarily block anonymous access to both forms of the batch endpoint at the WAF. That workaround can break legitimate traffic, so patching remains the fix. Patching closes the entrance, but it does not remove an intruder who already entered. Review requests to the batch API, especially successful multi-status responses. Check for unexpected administrators, unfamiliar plugins, new PHP files, and changes under cache or content directories. Verify core and repository plugin files against official checksums. If the evidence points to compromise, preserve logs and isolate the site. Rebuild from known clean core, themes, plugins, and backups instead of trusting a surface cleanup. Rotate WordPress salts, administrator passwords, database credentials, hosting credentials, and any secrets the server could read. Bring the clean site back only after the vulnerable version is gone. The memorable part of WP2Shell is the maze. The useful part is simpler. One misaligned safety check can turn a modest query bug into server control. Verify the patch, inspect the aftermath, and treat the next core security release as a clock that has already started. If this made the chain click, the next drawing is for you. Await fetch knowledge complete. Subscribe for more and see you next fetch.